Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new to my channel, where the fuck have you been? Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys another housekeeping horror story, and this one's not like a ghost type of horror. This one's a whole nother type of horror, just as scary, I promise you. I'm going to be telling you guys the story of the pervert on the 4th floor, and this happened about a couple weeks ago. And if you stick around to the end of the video, I'm going to be updating you guys on the first housekeeping horror story I did, and that is about the ghost in the bathroom. And yeah, I have an update on that. Something else happened. So I have my hot tea. I'm in my pajamas, my little monkey onesie, and I've got a warm blanket. So I'm all ready to tell a story, and you guys can put your pajamas on too, and let's get into it. So a couple weeks ago, I was working up on the floor I usually work on, and that's the 4th floor. And that floor is pretty much like quiet floor. I never hear any noises. It's not connected to any of the other floors, which 1 and 2 is connected to like main floors. And so I usually work on this floor, and it's the top floor. Okay, so this was a particularly busy day. Everyone was checking out. It was probably a Sunday. We're really busy on Sundays. So everyone was checking out, and my whole floor basically checked out except for one guy. So I only had one person staying up there, and I was all alone up there. So earlier in the day, I had been cleaning a room, and I turned around, and there was this like old looking like hillbilly guy standing there. He was skinny, he was tall, and he was just like, I don't know, he looked rough, man. And I looked back at him, and he just stared at me for a second. He said, "Oh, sorry, I thought this was my room." And he walked off. And I'm like, I know which room he's in because I have the paper that tells me. And he's in the last room on the end of the hall. And I was in like the middle of the hallway in one of those rooms. So that was weird. I don't know how he got that mixed up. So a couple hours later, I'm standing in the hallway at my cleaning cart. So like housekeepers push this cart, and we keep all our supplies on it and our sheets and everything. And this guy walks up, and I see him walking up to the cart, and he walks real slow, and he starts talking to me in this like, he has a real southern draw. His accent's really southern. He asked for some coffee, and he wanted like a bunch of coffee. He said something like, "When you come over this way, shh," and he did that exact thing. I just heard a noise. But yeah, so he says, "I'm gonna be taking a nap, so if you come over towards my room, shh." And that's what he did too. He didn't say be quiet, he and I was like, okay. And he had the DND up, which means do not disturb. So I already knew like not to go in his room, but I'm like, okay. And I just laughed like, okay. Down the hall towards his room, and he's about halfway to his room, and he stops and he turns around and he slowly walks all the way back to me. And I'm like, okay. And he walks closer and closer, and suddenly he's like this close to my face. Like, he's close. This is what he said, guys. "If you want to make a little extra in tips, come knock on my door. If you want to make some extra tips, come knock on my door." Are you kidding me? It was so creepy. It gave me the chills. And guys, if you're not catching on here, this guy was 100% telling me to like come do gross things with him for money. I'm like, are you fucking serious? And I just like laughed uncomfortably because like I don't know what to do in those situations. So I just like laughed uncomfortably, and he like walks away and goes in his room. And so I text my boss immediately. I'm like, there's a fucking really creepy fucking guy staying up on my floor. And she texts me back like, "Are you okay?" But I was cleaning, so I didn't see it. And she texts me back like, "Are you okay?" And she's like, "I'll be up in a sec," when I didn't answer because like my boss is really protective. She's awesome, and like scary things like this could happen. So I'm up on this floor alone. Nobody else is on this floor. Everyone checked out except for him. It's just him, and I'm on the top floor. My boss comes up, and she has the maintenance guy with her, and I'm telling her what happened, and she's like, "Oh my god, that's really fucking creepy." And she's like, "Okay, well, you don't have to clean the rooms over on that side of the hall, and we'll have someone up here with you at all times just to make sure nothing creepy happened." Like, that's how legit, like, this was fucking weird. So I ended up having a bodyguard that whole day, and he did end up checking out the next day, and he actually left a $5 tip. He never came out of his room until the next day when he checked out, so I didn't end up having to see him again, but that was really creepy. I remember every noise. I just, like, and that's the thing with working in like a hotel. If you're a housekeeper, like, you gotta think of those things. I actually had another experience with like a creepy guy who was trying to corner me into a room, and I just like went right back out the room, and I'm like, if you want to go in and look, go ahead, but I'm standing out here because you gotta be careful and think about those things. So now I'm going to update you guys real quick on the first housekeeping horror story that I ever did, Ghost in the Bathroom. If you want to go see that video, I'll link it below, and I'll also link a playlist to all my housekeeping horror stories if you want to check those out. So this is my update. I am walking downstairs to go to the bathroom because we can't frickin' pee in the bathrooms that we're cleaning. It's just a rule. Walking up to the bathroom, and I hear that the sink is on, and I have social anxiety, so my first thought was, oh my god, there's someone else in there. Thank god they're leaving. Honestly. And I hear the sink running, and I walk in, and there's no one standing there at the sink, but the sink is running, and I look around and there's no one in the fucking bathroom, and the sink stops running, and then it starts running, and then it stops and starts and stops, and it was fucking scary. No one was in there, and it was being so aggressive. Like the first time it wasn't doing that, and so I was like, nope, no way, I'm out of here. I backed my ass the fuck up, and I used the other bathroom on that floor because that was scary. If you guys seen the first video, go back and watch it if you don't get it. Yeah, that's scary. Leave a comment telling me if you ever had a creepy person experience and what you did. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more of my videos, then you know what red button to click below. Bye!